I was inspired by one of your tweets, Robert, where you recently said, let's look at Joe Biden's first 100 days here. Biden to start printing money. First step, change the rules of the Fed. That is why Janet Yellen, former Fed chairman, is Secretary of Treasury. Once the Fed rules changed, helicopters started dropping money directly to the people. Dollar will be destroyed. Buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So let's evaluate Joe Biden's first 100 days here, Robert.
That could be a little dangerous. They took off Lou Dobbs, so I gotta watch what I say. And anyway, he's executive order after executive order. I hate to say that that's totalitarianism. You know what I mean? He's done more in the first 100 days. But significantly, you got to follow the bouncing banker. And when Yellen took over the Treasury, and she came from the Fed, you have to look at what's happening with Draghi in Italy, I think, and Mark Carney out of Bank of England. So follow the bouncing bankers. And then you have an idea what's really going on in the world. And many of the bouncing bankers like Carney and Draghi came from Goldman Sachs, as you know. So, I mean, just follow them. And that's why what's her name, Janet Yellen, signifies is they can't get money into the economy fast enough by the old system. So they have to go directly to helicopter money. And that's why they need to reopen up the Fed bylaws and change the rules. And then they can print money directly and give it to the customer. Because right now the drawback is if I want money from the current system, I have to have good financial credit. And as you know, this COVID has shut down. I mean, people have been wiped out. They can't get loans. If they can't get loans, you can't get money to them. So Yellen going to the Treasury from the Fed means they'll get together now and go to the Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe, the worst case scenarios, and just print money directly to the customer, UBI-MMT.
It's interesting you call them bouncing bankers, because I was speaking with another expert the other day who really highlighted that fact that, we saw former Fed chair Janet Yellen, now Treasury Secretary, Draghi, former head of the ECB, now slated to become Italy's next PM. It's like they're infiltrating the government now.
Well, there's a great book I read when I was younger and more stupid. I'm still younger and stupid, but anyway, it was called The Grudge of Giants by Buckminster Fuller. You can see it. And grudge stands for gross universal cashless. And so this was in 1983. I read that book. And then I read this book here, The Creature from Jekyll Island. You can tell I study this stuff. I flunked out of school. I'm not a good student. But I like following bouncing bankers. And then there was this book here, was Max Kaiser's favorite book. It's called Critical Path by Buckminster Fuller. But this guy brings it up to date today, which is Rex. And just follow the bouncing bankers and you can see what's happening. It's war, financial warfare. And it's against the poor and middle class, against the proletariat. So that's what's happening. And that's why we're going to have this huge gap. The gap's only going to get wider, which leads to social unrest. And that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I speak and I say what I say.
Robert, do you think it will be more helicopter money than the Ben Bernanke days?
It has to be. That's why every time on your show, I don't know what the food fight is about, Peter Schiff saying gold and Max Kaiser saying it's Bitcoin. I said, you guys, why are you fighting amongst each other? Who cares? Why, as what's his name, Yogi Berra says, when you come to the fork in the road, take it. So you have gold, silver, and Bitcoin, just buy them. Who cares? Because the real enemy is this book here, The Grudge of Giants by Fuller. The bouncing bankers control the world.
Robert, I was happy to get you on the show so we could talk about Bitcoin, gold, and silver. It's three of our favorite topics here at Stansberry Investor. Tesla, following in the footsteps of Michael Saylor, buying 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. That news blew me away. I wasn't surprised. Elon Musk had been alluding and and hinting to a Bitcoin buy on his Twitter. What do you make of this? Do you think this will cause a fear of missing out for more CEOs, and this is just going to cause a domino effect here?
Yes, it's coming. There's more and more. The rumor, and all of this rumor, but there's going to have more and more CEOs and CFOs really not to shift their treasury out of the dollar, because it is a currency war. And you've got to get out of something they're printing and get into something that's going to retain value. And I think for many people that is Bitcoin or Ethereum and things like this, so it's going to be crypto. And that's why Draghi and all these guys, the European Central Union, are talking about cryptocurrency. And, I started buying silver when I was 17 years old in 1964, when I saw that little copper tinge around my dime. I'm going, hey, to say in Mexico, ¿qué pasa? What are they doing to our money? And that's Gresham's law. And that was what brought down the Roman Empire in Zimbabwe and Venezuela and the Weimar Republic. No fiat currency has ever survived. So in 1964, I'm a 17-year-old kid. I started collecting real silver coins. And then in 72, I'm a pilot in Vietnam. I went behind enemy lines to find out I wanted to buy gold because I couldn't buy gold in America. And this little Vietnamese woman, the little red teeth, I tried to negotiate her down from $50. The spot was $50. It rose from 35 to 50. I'm trying to negotiate down to me a better deal, like maybe $42. What an idiot. But anyway, and this little tiny woman just smiles at me and says, spot. That's the only English word she knew, spot. And I said, what the hell, spot? And then I really was surprised how gold and silver, what I call God's money, all over the world. Gold and silver have been here since the earth was formed. And so that's when I became kind of a gold bug and a silver bug. And I've taken two companies public, a gold mining company in China, which the Chinese took, and a silver mining company in Argentina. So I'm a hardcore, hard money, non-paper guy.
So let's talk about the silver market, because I've been covering this market for over 10 years, Robert, and I don't think I've ever seen so much excitement surrounding silver. So I know you were a supporter of what was happening on Reddit. You're always cheering for the little guys, and if they could take down hedge funds, fantastic. But what do you make of what was happening and all this attention on silver, and do you think it will last?
Well, the problem was a GameStop. It's a fake.
Yep.
It's fake, 100% fake. That's not that. It's not worth anything. And so that's why they can play a silly little game of shorts and all that stuff. But the trouble with silver, it's a real asset. It's an industrial metal first. And the biggest people that use it are some of the biggest corporations in the world, like Sony, Apple, Toshiba, any battery company. And now with, the ESG, environmental social governance, which Carney took over from the Bank of England. He's taken over that for a company called Brookfield in Canada. Everybody's shifting green. So silver is a green metal. And so I was really happy when Reddit at least stirred the water up, but they were messing with real companies. Toshiba, Apple, Tesla, Sony, Apple, they were messing with the end user. And the thing I know since I started a gold mine, it's 100% manipulated. They keep the price low just so it doesn't blow their operating costs out of the water. But that's coming to an end now because the consumption of silver is going up while the stockpiles are going down. So I backed up the truck the other day. I went to my American Precious Metals guy, Jerry Williams. I said, how much silver you got? He said, I'll take it.
You took all of it?
Yeah. And greed is good, right? No, because inflation's coming. We all know it. That's what the Fed wants. They need inflation to pay off this mountain of 187 trillion in debt.
It's really hard to find those silver coins now, but I definitely thought of you, and it's, as you've mentioned, manipulation. It's revived the manipulation talk. Not that it ever went away, but a lot of silver investors finally feel like there's hope that if there is manipulation taking place, that it will finally come to the forefront and perhaps end now. Are you optimistic?
I'm sexually stimulated. I'm a hard asset guy. Like I said, I've been in silver since 1964. And that's what I love about you. You keep saying, I feel so sorry for the silver guys. I said, I don't, because it gave me time, because I had no money to take a position in silver and gold, and now Bitcoin, now I have more money. So I'm in position. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just as Janet Yellen and her comrades in the Biden administration